Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Art with Freedom. This is me Sonam Sunita Atri and I am back with another amazing video. Okay, so I am finally kick-starting off my book review series which I have been waiting for such a long time, and I am finally starting it off with one of my favorite books of all time, one of the favorite books that I've ever read, and I just love this book. And I'm starting off my books review series with this one. The book review series is this one. This is like literally my favorite. The name is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Okay, the most of you must have heard about this book and must have seen the movie as well, but let me tell you something. The magic this book holds is something amazing. It's like something so amazing I can't explain it. Okay. Let me tell you something about this book first. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is a thriller novel written by Swedish author and journalist Stieg Larsson, and it was published in 2005. Okay, so first of all, I will tell you that how did I come across this book in the very first place. So I went to this book fair in early 2020 where I was just looking through a pile of books and I was just randomly searching for books that I want to buy, and there were two girls standing right next to me and they were discussing about this book and its sequels, and I just happened to hear them and I asked them about more that tell me more about this book, and they told me that it's a thriller novel and it's really amazing. It has a movie on it, and so I just checked it out for a bit and I read the reviews and I checked out the sequels, and I think that's when it hit me. And you just get to know it when you heard something good. You just know it that this is something good and you have got to try it. So I bought this one and its next two parts. This whole series has 5 books. And this is the first part, and I already have 2 parts in my TBR pile and I have to buy the other 2, but for now I just read only this one, only first part, and I'm going to read the 2 parts after a while, but for now let's start the review. Okay, so first of all, the name of this book is like literal amazing. Like it gives you a vibe, it gives you an idea what this book is holding in itself. The Girl with the Dragon, it's so like vibing. It's so catching. Like you already you think in your head when you hear the name, like, oh, the girl, this could be something mysterious, and there's something like mysteries in there, a thriller in there. And trust me, it do have mystery, it do have thriller, and it's like grasping. The story is so grasping at the mystery, it just gets increasing and increasing with every page you turn over. You just have so many questions in your head, and all the questions gets to be answered in last 2 chapters. Like when you reach the end of this book and you're like, okay, yes. These were my reaction when I read this book, when I was at the end of this book. When I started reading this book, I was like so bored. I'm genuinely telling you, I was so bored in the first 2-3 chapters. Like, what is happening? Where the story is going on? And I had like no idea where the story was going on. And I was like so bored. I was like, what? And the thing with this book is that you have to remember the names of the characters. This is like, because when I was on like 4th or 5th chapter, I was turning pages in the 1st or 2nd chapter to get to know, okay, who was he? Okay, who was she again? What was the name of that character? There are so many names in here that it's just so much confusing in your head. But by the time you get the middle of this one, so you get an idea. Okay, you automatically get to remember. Okay, they are talking about that one. Okay, now this one is included in that. So it's like that. But there are so many names. There's literally a family chart, a family group chart that you have to remember to get to the story. Although I love reading family charts because they are so fascinating sometimes. If any story, any book or movie or show, if group of people who are included a part of a family, like there's a big family group that are a part of the story. It's like so fascinating. Like you already know there is some drama in there. If there's a family chart included, the drama is 100% confirmed. Okay, and I live for drama. I'm a fan of drama. Okay, so the story starts with a journalist, but before the story starts, there's a pre-round for this before chapter 1, and there's this old man who is stressed because someone is sending him gifts without any name. I mean, like, that is something to be stressed over, because someone is sending you gifts for years on your birthday without having to reveal their name and their identity and anything at all. That would be suspicious for a while. But he is receiving gifts for like so many years now. I don't think he should really give a care about it anymore, because like something dangerous was about to happen. It would have happened anyway. There was no need for him to be worried. But old people, you get the vibe. So he is very stressed and is discussing the case, and he thinks something is mysterious. Then he goes and on and on and on. The story starts with a journalist who is having to face a lawsuit right now. The lawsuit, the story because of which he is facing this lawsuit, is totally true, but he doesn't have any proof to prove himself right. So he is kind of a middle of a situation. And then there is this detective company, and the girl comes in the story then. The girl with the dragon tattoo. And trust me, that girl is like genuinely amazing. Like, okay, the girl is not exactly like the it girl, but she is also not that tomboy girl. She is a gangster, like a gangster. And she is independent, and she lives by her own free will on her own rules. So she is definitely an idol. Okay, now the story that combines all them is that the old man hires the journalist as a detective to find out that who is the person who is sending him flowers and this and that, plus to solve the mystery of a murder that happened years ago. Okay, now this feels like a bit of stupid, because the old man hired a detective company to find out about the journalist, but then he appoints a journalist as a detective to solve a murder mystery. That is like so confusing. But the thing is that the old man is having some kind of a long family relation with, not family, but a family friend kind of relation with the journalist. So he hires a journalist, and the journalist like, I am already in a bigger mess, so what can go wrong here? So he accepts the offer. Now, on the other hand, the girl with the dragon tattoo, she is already in a bigger mess. Like, she is always in a mess, and she has to deal with her own problems all by herself. So she's dealing with her problems. But the journalist then asked for a professional detective to the old man, and he was like, yeah, of course, sure. And then the girl met the journalist, and they start working on the case. At first, they all thought that this was an open and shut case, but then it's like an onion opens up, it's layer to layer to layer, and it gets so interesting and so grasping. Like, and I never thought that this story could wrap me around itself like so well and so captured. Because by the time I was in the middle of this book, I could not keep it down. I was just like, no. I want to read it right now. I want to finish it right now. I was just like that. At some moments, it gets so thrilling. When it's not like doesn't give you a vibe of a thriller from the starting point. Like, okay, this is a mystery. Everything is simple and everything is going on like a normal, regular story. Okay, this is the character, this is their story, that's how they're dealing with their problems. It goes like that. Then it gets in the middle of the story, and then all the characters are related to each other in one way or another. And you're like, oh, this is a bigger mess than you could have thought of. And then the thriller begins. Because when an onion opens up its layer to layer, you have always in your head like there's something inside, there's something beneath that layer that is still not unfolded, and it's exactly just like the story is just exactly like that. Because I reached in this story, there's a point where you reach and you feel like, okay, now the truth is about to come out, but that's where the thriller begins. And we're literally at the edge of your seat, like, oh my god, what's going to happen now? It's so horrifying at that moment when the thriller began. And I was like, oh my god, this one is going to die right here. Sometimes I just don't get it, that why in stories when people already know they're gonna die at that place, but they still go there anyway. Like, क्या तुमको क्या छोड़ना चाहिए जब पता है कि वहां पे जाके मौत लिखी हुई है, तुम मत ही जाओ। बट नहीं, हमको तो जाना है, हम तो एक्सपेरिमेंट करेंगे, हमको तो खतरों के खिलाड़ी बनना है। So just like that, the journalist went right into the trap and he was stuck. But the girl with the dragon tattoo came to his rescue and saved him. But the thriller didn't end there. It just keeps going on and on and on and on. You can always find the answer to the question that why someone murdered someone. Okay, why you can always figure it out that okay, this person murdered this person. Okay. But it's so difficult to find the motive. Like, what was the motive for the murder? Because if you don't know the motive, that means you are actually targeting at the wrong person. Even if the murderer itself comes in front and tells you that I am the murderer, I did the murder, you still cannot believe that if you do not know the motive. That's the thing with murder mysteries. Always, like literally always. And so happens in this one. And like it's so many points in every chapter. This book holds like something, I don't know. Let me check out for you. This book has like 29 chapters and an epilogue. So we can say 30 chapters. But like in every chapter from 1 to 29 chapter, you will meet different characters and you will think that okay, this one is the murderer. Like, you can point out at so many people in every single chapter. Like, okay, this one is the murderer. Maybe he is the murderer, or maybe she is the murderer. Because the story revolves around characters just like that you are forced to believe that that character is the murderer. He did the murder or she did the murder. But at the end, you will realize, oh, I was wrong all along. I was so wrong all along. By the time the story was about to reveal that who was the murderer, I was literally sure when I started the chapter, okay, now they are going to reveal. I had like 2 names in my head for the murderer. But plot twist, the biggest twist of the story, oh my god, I so want to reveal what was the truth, but I cannot. I was like so amazed at the moment. I was amazed at the journalist who figured it out. The girl who was a detective, she couldn't figure it out that who was the murderer, but the journalist figured out the entire story so well because he figured out the motive. He figured out the backstory. This is such a working tip to detectives and to law students and to anyone who is trying to figure out a story, that you always have to look at the backstory. Whatever happened, whatever is happening, whatever you are trying to find a reason for, there's always a backstory. The backstories are like so important because it drives people to have a motive, and that motive drives people to do the things they are not supposed to do or they feel like doing. So I think the backstories are always so important, and the journalist did figure out the backstory and he revealed the truth, and I was like, oh my god, I was like so amazed and so shocked. And like I literally put it the book like this and I was like, okay. I was just like this for like whole 20 minutes. What have I just read? What did this happen? How did this happen? Why did this happen? But that's the point of a thriller. The twist, the plot twist is always a point. So satisfied with the story, but I was definitely in a trauma for a while because there's 2 wholesome horrific scenes. The story do have some really horrifying scenes which I just cannot get over until now. But that's what thrillers are all about. So it's okay, it's fine. You can get over it by watching maybe Frozen or something. That was all about this one, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and I definitely recommend everyone to read it if they could, because not everyone is into stories like me, because I am super into stories, so I love reading books and I revolve around these stories. So definitely my top recommendation for thriller lovers. So do read it if you can. I highly This book is like a series of 5 parts, and this is the first part. I do have another one then, and I am definitely going to read another one. But before that, right now, I am reading The God of Small Things, because this was literally a trauma. This was a trauma, a super trauma. So I had to get over it. So that's why I'm reading this one. Good thing. After this, I am definitely going to start this one, the Girl Who Played with Fire. This is the second part of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and I'm going to start this one after this one. This entire pile here is my TBR pile right now. So right now I'm reading The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. It's actually something really light and normal kind of a story, like general story we could all, like kind of agree to. And after this, I am going to start this one, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Then we have The Alchemist, The Fault in Our Stars, Merchant of Venice, the play, and Hell No Saints in Paradise, King Lear, the play, and this one here, The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. This is the third part of this one. So this was all about my first video of my book review series. Highly recommend, do read it if you can, and if you are still here, do give this video a big thumbs up and comment down below that I am an art, because you are an absolute art, irrespective of anything anyone can say to you. So you do keep believing in yourself and do love yourself as much as you can. It's never enough. Do subscribe to the channel, share the video with everyone, and comment down below. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for keeping up with me. Thank you so much. Lots of love to you. Lots of love to me. Bye bye.